In 384 BC, a boy was born in a small Greek town on the coast of Macedonia. His father was the personal physician to the king. By the time this boy was 17, he had enrolled in Plato's academy, the greatest school in the ancient world. Plato called him the mind of the school. His name was Aristotle. And for the next 2,400 years, when Western civilization wanted to think about anything, logic, science, ethics, politics, beauty, friendship, happiness, it started with him. Here's what he figured out that we still can't improve on. Lesson 1. The purpose of life is eudaimonia. Every action, Aristotle observed, is aimed at some good. You eat to stop being hungry. You work to earn money. You earn money to buy things. You buy things for some other reason. But what is the final reason? What is the thing humans are ultimately aiming at that isn't a means to something else? Aristotle called it eudaimonia, usually translated as happiness, but that's too weak a word. Eudaimonia means flourishing, living in accordance with your highest capacities, being what you were built to be at the fullest expression. It is not a feeling, it is an activity. You don't experience eudaimonia, you enact it, every day, by living excellently. Lesson 2. Virtue is a habit, not a gift. Aristotle didn't believe people were born good or bad. He believed character was something you cultivated through repeated action over time. You become courageous by doing courageous things. You become generous by practicing generosity. You become disciplined by choosing discipline, again and again, until it becomes second nature. The first time is hard. The 100th time is almost effortless. And then it is who you are. Lesson 3. The golden mean. Every virtue, Aristotle said, exists between two vices. Courage is the mean between cowardice and recklessness. Generosity is the mean between stinginess and profligacy. Confidence is the mean between self-deprecation and arrogance. The excellent person isn't the extreme person. They're the calibrated person. They hit the appropriate response for the situation. Not always the maximum, not always the minimum, but the right amount. This is harder than any extreme, because it requires judgment, not just willpower. Lesson 4. Man is a social animal. Aristotle was the first philosopher to systematically argue that humans are not self-sufficient. We need community the way fish need water, not just for survival, but for the very possibility of becoming excellent. You cannot practice courage in isolation. You cannot be generous alone. You cannot develop wisdom without others to test your ideas against. The people around you are not background characters in your story. They are the conditions that make your story possible. Choose them carefully. Lesson 5. The 3 types of friendship. Aristotle wrote more carefully about friendship than almost any philosopher before or since. He identified 3 kinds. Friendships of utility, people you know because they're useful to each other. Business relationships, acquaintances. These dissolve when the utility ends. Friendships of pleasure, people you enjoy being around. Fun companions. These dissolve when the fun fades. Friendships of virtue, people who know your real character and whom you know the same way, who want good things for you, not from you, who tell you the truth even when it costs them something. These are rare, and they are the only friendships worth building your life around. Lesson 6. The highest human activity is contemplation. All the other goods, wealth, health, reputation, pleasure, are good because they enable something else. But Aristotle believed the highest human capacity was the mind in its fullest exercise, the act of understanding, of thinking clearly about what is true and why, not because it's useful, but because it is what makes us most fully human. In an age of infinite distraction, Aristotle's challenge is more urgent than ever. When did you last think, really think, about what kind of person you want to be, and whether you're becoming it? That question is 2,400 years old, and it's still the only one that matters.